Update 2. On my birthday, Mom said, "We sold your car and cashed out your college fund. Your brother deserves a fresh start." Then she slid over a loan agreement. Co-sign his $25,000 debt or get out. I didn't argue. I just packed. By morning, they found the letter I left behind. Now my brother's panicking, Dad's driving around looking for me, and Mom's crying in the kitchen. About a week after I left, I got a message from my aunt, Mom's younger sister, the only one in the family who had ever seemed to genuinely like me. She wrote, "Call me. Just 5 minutes. I'm not here to guilt you. I just want you to hear what happened." I debated ignoring it, but curiosity got the better of me. When I finally called her, she answered on the first ring. "Alex," her voice was soft, and I could hear traffic in the background. "I don't know where you are, and I'm not going to ask, but your mom's unraveling. Your dad looks like he hasn't slept in days. Ethan's been grounded, not literally, but emotionally. I think he's finally starting to realize no one's going to bail him out this time." I stayed quiet. "I told them they crossed a line," she added. I said, "If you were my son, I'd be ashamed of what they did." That caught me off guard. My aunt was the kind of woman who didn't ruffle feathers. Her saying something, anything, was huge. "They think you're just being dramatic," she continued. "But I know better. I know you've been holding that family together for years." She paused, then asked gently, "Do you want me to pass along a message? Even just to say you're okay?" I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to scream, to lay it all out. Another part wanted to disappear entirely. So I just said, "Tell them I'm safe, and tell Mom this. I was her son, not her solution." There was silence on the other end. Then a quiet, "Okay." The next day, I got a notification from my bank. The account my parents had access to, the one they used to move money around occasionally, slipping into my savings when they were tight on bills, had been cleaned out. Only this time, it wasn't my account. It was theirs. And what I saw next nearly made me drop my phone. Several chargebacks. All the recent transfers from my fund were gone. The money had been reversed by the bank due to unauthorized activity. I had filed the complaint before leaving. At the time, I didn't think it would go anywhere, but apparently, with proof of ownership and a detailed report of manipulation, they sided with me. I was getting it back, my car money, my tuition money, my future. And Mom, well, based on the last voicemail I received, just breathing, just crying, I had a feeling the reality was finally sinking in. I haven't decided what to do next. Part of me wants to build a new life quietly somewhere they can't reach me. Another part wants to confront them face to face, not to scream, not to gloat, but just to exist in front of them as someone they no longer control. But for now, I'm watching the pieces fall. And I haven't picked up the phone, not yet. The motel room was cramped, but it was mine. The sheets were stiff, and the AC wheezed like it was on its last breath. But the silence, the real silence, was priceless. No one knocking at the door asking if I could cover someone's gas, no guilt tripping over dinner, no Ethan barging in at midnight needing something then muttering "You're such a buzzkill" when I said no. I used to think quiet was boring, now I clung to it like oxygen. I spent the next few days in what I'd call a productive limbo. I mapped out everything, budgeted the refunded money, divided it between a high-yield account and a new bank they didn't know about, submitted applications for campus housing near my university, and made arrangements to retrieve my official documents. It turned out my old high school still had a sealed copy of my transcript and birth certificate on file, something I never thought I'd be grateful for. I even started drafting a new essay for a few additional scholarships, this time with a story that was very real. And all the while, the calls kept coming, not as frequently now, just one every couple of days. But the tone had changed, something I didn't expect. It was Dad this time. His voice was lower, strained. "Alex, listen. I know we messed up. I'm not going to pretend we didn't. I didn't even want to go along with it. Your mom said it was a temporary solution, that we'd pay it back, that Ethan would shape up. I should have said no. I should have protected you." I didn't delete the voicemail, but I didn't return it either. I sat with it for a while, listening again and again, trying to hear if there was any real remorse or if it was just another trick, another wave in the cycle of "You're the stable one. Fix it for us." But what really caught me off guard wasn't the guilt in Dad's voice. It was what came next. "Your mother's not well," he said. "Since you left, she's barely functioning. She keeps saying you're going to come back, that it was just a bad birthday, and you'll forgive her. But I think deep down she knows she crossed a line." I sat in my motel bed, phone pressed against my ear, the blue TV glow flickering across the wallpaper like a ghost. I should have felt something, sadness, anger, maybe even sympathy. But I didn't. All I felt was distance, like he was describing strangers, not family. A few hours later, I got a text from an unknown number. "You could have just said no. You didn't have to humiliate them." No name, no punctuation, just that. I didn't have to guess who it was. Ethan had a very specific tone when he wasn't getting his way, that kind of half-pitiful, half-blaming attitude like the world owed him everything and anyone who disagreed was cruel. I stared at the message for a long time. Then almost on instinct, I opened notes on my phone and started writing a reply I never sent. "You used to steal my chargers, my money, my clothes, and my time. I stayed silent. You crashed the car, blamed me, and I still kept your secret. I covered for you when you were high at Mom's birthday dinner. I stayed quiet. I paid rent when you didn't. I stayed quiet. I gave up weekends, sleep, my mental health, and you called me dramatic when I finally broke. And now you say I humiliated them? No, Ethan. I just stopped protecting you. That's all. I didn't send it. I didn't need to. Some truths were better left unsaid and unanswered." That night, I dreamed I was back in the living room, sitting across from Mom while she slid that loan document across the coffee table again. Except this time, I didn't stay silent. In the dream, I stood up, grabbed it, and lit it on fire in front of her. She didn't move, just watched it burn, her face unreadable. And when I turned to leave, she whispered, "You'll be back. You always come back." I woke up sweating. I checked my phone out of habit. Another voicemail from my sister. "We're not close. She moved out when I was 13 and never really looked back. Visits were rare and awkward, but she was always cordial. I assumed she stayed distant because of the chaos at home, self-preservation in its purest form." Her message was short. "Hey, it's Claire. I just heard what happened from Aunt Jen. I'm proud of you. I know that probably sounds weird coming from me, but I am. It took me way too long to walk away, and I still don't think I ever fully did. Just if you need a place to land, I've got a guest room. No strings, no lectures, just let me know." I didn't realize how tightly I was gripping the phone until I felt my fingers ache. Her voice, calm, quiet, real, hit harder than I expected. I saved the message. Later that day, I walked into a used car lot with cash in hand, not enough for anything flashy, but enough for a decent second-hand sedan. I picked a navy blue Honda that had a few dings on the side but ran well. The dealer didn't ask too many questions, just smiled when I handed over the money and said, "Starting over?" I nodded. Back at the motel, I gathered my things into one suitcase. The air was stale, and I could hear a couple fighting 2 doors down, but I didn't care. The moment I zipped that suitcase closed, it felt symbolic. I wasn't just leaving the room, I was leaving that version of me behind. As I stepped outside, the late afternoon sun hit different, warmer, freer. I slid into the driver's seat of the Honda, shut the door, and just sat there for a moment, breathing in the silence. Then I pulled out my phone and opened the last text message Ethan had sent. And this time, I replied, but not with words. I just sent him a photo of the car keys in my hand. And then I turned off my phone.